Good evening. It works. That's great. Hi. This is a wonderful crowd. You weren't scared away by the rain. You weren't tempted to stay home and watch NCAA basketball. Well done. We knew that the crowd for Francis Moore Lappé would be a dedicated and large one. I invite you, if you'd like, if you're near the back and want to move up a little bit, please do. There are many seats still up at the periphery on the sides, so come up if you'd like. Well, good evening and welcome. My name is Barbara Altman, and I have the great honor of being the director of the Oregon Humanities Center. It's my pleasure tonight to introduce our eminent guest, someone who works on issues near and dear to our university and to our greater community. My remarks will be brief, so we keep as much time as possible for our guest, Francis Moore Lappé, who is our 2009-2010 Cressman Lecturer in the Humanities. The Luther S. and Dorothy Cecilia Cressman Lectureship was established in 1994 with a generous bequest from former UO anthropology professor and archaeologist Luther S. Cressman, who excavated the now famous 10,000-year-old sagebrush bark sandals from a cave in Central Oregon in 1938. Cressman questioned some of the received theories about the prehistoric Northwest and Great Basin and pushed forward in very important ways our understanding of the human history of this region. The lectureship's goal is, quote, the presentation and illumination of fundamental humanities issues that confront, but are too often ignored by, societies centrally occupied with science, technology, and business, end of quote. We have used this lectureship for speakers in the fields of anthropology, religion, art and art history, natural history, and cultural studies. Among the guests who have come as Cressman lecturers are N. Scott Momaday, pioneer of modern Native American literature, who pioneered the series as well, and Randall Robinson, the international human rights activist. Last year, we had the pleasure of hosting Professor Mary Evelyn Tucker from the Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Studies, and who is also cross-appointed to the Yale Divinity School. She addressed matters of ethics, religion, and the environment. Francis Moore Lappé will add even greater luster to the lectureship with her talk this evening. Even after writing or co-writing 18 books, she is still perhaps best known as the author of the vastly influential book named Diet for a Small Planet, a book that will have its 40th anniversary next year and has sold 3 million copies. Her most recent works include Hope's Edge, The Next Diet for a Small Planet, co-authored with her daughter Anna Lappé in 2002, Democracy's Edge, Choosing to Save Our Country by Bringing Democracy to Life, 2006, and Getting a Grip 2, Clarity, Creativity, and Courage for the World We Really Want, which is hot off the press just last month. And it is for sale in the lobby. Francis Lappé Moore will be signing them after the talk as well. And I have more news. We're raffling one of these, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. Getting a Grip 2 is a thorough revision of the first edition of the book by that name, Getting a Grip, which came out in 2007. And the fact that it needs a thorough revision within less than 3 years is a sure sign that the issues with which Lappé engages are as pertinent and timely as anything going on today. I should mention, by the way, that in June 2008, both the first edition of Getting a Grip and Diet for a Small Planet were declared must-read books for the new President Obama by no less than Barbara Kingsolver and Michael Pollan, respectively. What strikes me so forcefully in Lappé's work is her great ability to engage not only presidents, but also the common man and woman, all of us, in fact, with the eminent good sense and feasibility of joining in what she calls, quote, a vibrant culture of mutual responsibility, end quote. Before I turn over the podium to Lappé, a couple of practical details. You will have found on your seats some comment sheets, a little survey that we ask you to fill out. Your feedback is very helpful to the Humanities Center in planning future events that represent our audience's interests. Please take a moment to give us some information that we ask for there. And as an incentive, I'm delighted to say that we will have a drawing, as we've done in the past, using the comment sheets as the pool of entrants. And we have a copy of this book, which Francis Moore Lappé has just autographed, and that will be the prize. If you do want to drop that off, at the moment, there are boxes in the little door bays here. There's one at the information table out in the lobby, and we will have OHC staff holding boxes at the main exits if you'd like to drop them on your way out. If you do want to enter the drawing, please give us just at least enough to contact you. We'll need a name and a phone number and email address, but I promise we won't abuse them. If you want a quick way out, if you're an agoraphobic and don't want to handle the crowd in the lobby, I want to tell you that there are a couple of exterior exits you can use to get out of the building. And if you do choose to stay afterwards, there is a book signing and sale in the lobby, and we will also have a question and answer session immediately following the lecture. If you wish to ask a question, please come to the mics in the middle aisle here, or we will bring you one. We need you to come to the mic so that your question can be heard on the live streaming video that's going out right now and on the recording that we're making of this lecture as well. I also want, before I leave the podium, to acknowledge the work done in preparing for Frances Moore Lappé's visit by the Oregon Humanities Center staff, namely Associate Director Julia Hayden, Melissa Gustafson, Peg Gearhart, Lindsay Henriksen, and Ty Bailey. Frances's visit has included meals with community and faculty members, a conversation with students, and a wonderful TV interview for UO Today that I hope you will watch when it airs a little later this spring. Now we have arrived at the main event. The lecture Frances Moore Lappé is about to present is entitled Getting a Grip, Gaining Clarity, Creativity, and Courage for the World We Really Want. Please join me in welcoming her.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I have to thank Barbara, of course, and Julia. I have been doing this for a while, you know, traipsing around and giving talks, and I can honestly say I've never felt more welcome, never felt more at home, and learned so much in a day as I have from the conversations with the people here. And so I am even more proud to say that I'm a native Oregonian. And thank you so very much. I would like to make our night together very real, not just some author lady talking to you. So I'd like to ask you to cooperate with me in the realness creation by just turning to the closest person next to you who you don't know and introducing yourself and just giving them a little tidbit of like what your major is or what you do or thing you love, whatever it is. Would you do that for me? Just to warm it up a little bit in here. Thank you very much for, thank you. You are really, it's as easy. And now I have a few questions for you. I have 3 questions before I get underway. So, how many of you are really worried about our planet? How many of you are really worried about your personal path on this planet? And how many of you feel that you have, if not a working hypothesis, some pretty strong hunch about why we're in the mess we're in? Oh, that's so great. Okay, well, you got to push back because tonight is I've got the mic, right, somewhere here. So you're going to hear my personal hypothesis about why we're in the mess we're in. Because I believe that if we don't have one of those things, if we don't have a strong sense of causation and therefore how to reverse the negative forces, then we really are vulnerable to despair, of which is the greatest luxury we cannot afford right now.